Is Moshi Monsters coming back? Hello and welcome to my channel, lovely. Today we are talking Moshi Monsters. You might be like, Rosie, this is normally a book channel, and that you would be correct, but Moshi Monsters is a deeply rooted part of my childhood, so I feel like I should talk about this. Now, if you're unaware, the fandom of the Moshi Monster fandom was told that there was big news, big announcement, something big was coming today, the 16th, and we were told like so much that something big was coming, to the point where a lot of fans, including myself, thought we would be getting the original game back, and that we'd finally get to go back to the world of Moshi Monsters, because the game was taken off the internet a couple of years ago, and that's what we were led to believe. Unfortunately, that was not the case. What we got instead was a video announcing a new Kickstarter campaign and a new storyline, but the ability to revisit the old world and see new adventures and new areas. But I don't know how true this is to be. In this video, I'm going to be looking into the Kickstarter campaign, the information that is available, and what I personally think as someone who is deeply looking into this, someone who's been a deep part of the fandom and has played the game for a lot of years and is still actively playing on Moshi Monsters Rewritten. But anyway, here are my thoughts and opinions. And my credentials for this is I have met Katsuma. I had a Katsuma nightlight. I had Katsuma shower gel. I had the Moshi Monster tree. And I had a lot of mushrooms. I had a serious problem growing up, but suffice to say, I was very much invested in Moshi Monsters growing up. Anyway, but let's get into everything. First off, the video in general. We get very limited information. We get a video of Justin Despin World Tour being cancelled. We have a video of the asteroid hitting Monstrosity, wiping out, and the promise that we get to go back and revisit our favourite locations and help rebuild the city. Now, I feel like they're doing the help rebuild the city as a way so they can regenerate the world in a more modern way. But I'm going to share my personal opinions from the get-go. I personally feel like this is a nostalgia farm. Everyone who played it, everyone who was fans are my age. Okay, this puts nearly all of them in the age range of probably like 15 at the very low to 25 plus, okay? That's going to be the most of the age range of people who love Moshi Monsters, wants Moshi Monsters back, has the money to fund a Kickstarter because they have adult money, they have jobs, and they have now the capital to fund a Kickstarter, okay? Personally, I think this is a nostalgia farm. And I'm going to state that, and I'm going to go into the reasons why I think this. But like, looking over the project, we get basically 3 lines of what the supposed story is, which is no more expansive on what we saw in the video. Literally, we have one storyline thing, and it's literally Monster City has been destroyed by a mysterious asteroid. The flash droid mushrooms have been scattered across the world. Moshi Island is covered in ash, and Mushroom World needs to be saved. So that's the information we get on the storyline, okay? We get told we get to play as one of the 6 in the original post-catastrophic Monster City. The world is like never before, so how are we going back to original locations here, people? You're like, come visit your original locations, but also it's in a post-catastrophic world and nothing is like before. That's contradictory, my friend, okay? But also, like, it's complete quest, find and rescue lost mushrooms and help rebuild Monstrosity. And, like, we have limited concept art, and a lot of the concept art is from the video itself. There's no actual concept art really of the game, and it's all early concept art. So what's your current concept art like? There's very limited storyline, so yeah, so this is kind of just like, okay, but like, what are we doing the Kickstarter for, kind of situation. Now, if we go into about Moshi Monsters, it states what Moshi Monsters is. It's a 2008 web-based, this is important, it's a web-based Flash MMORPG, loved by millions around the world, millions of people who are now in their 20s. And then it's like just talking about the original game. In 2019, the original game was turned off. For a lot of fans, this was a very, very sad thing. And like, for a lot of fans, including myself, we all transferred over onto Moshi Monsters Rewritten, Moshi Monsters Online, but the game never updates. It's kind of stopped there. Right. And then you have the concept, the game concept. Is to bring, their game concept is to bring back Moshi Monsters on mobile. the fact that they're marketing it as getting to play the original game again a bit, it's kind of a bit iffy in that sense to me. With the backing and guidance of our fans, I will get into the backing and guidance of our fans a bit more, because it's like, this is a community driven project. It's giving that, and like you'll see later on, we explore a deeper exploration of the Moshi world, a new quest driven story adventure. So from what I'm taking from this is that it's not going to be like the concept it was before, because before it was kind of like, yeah, you had the option of being in a quest, of being in the like open world aspects where there were other monsters. Like, you could choose how you play the game. This kind of just seems like it's a quest-based game, and some of the concept art that is given looks like a click and point game, in my personal opinion. Return to the monstrous city that lies in ruins after a mysterious asteroid strike. Beloved moshlings have been scattered across the world. The world's location and across the world, familiar locations like crumbling. But yet in the Kickstarter video campaign, they go, revisit all your favourite locations from the original. Like, yeah, but no. Kind of. We do get to play as one of the original 6, which I really do like, because they are the base. And it's like, adopt, name, and nurture your virtual pet as you bring the world of Moshi back to life, rescuing lost moshlings and rebuilding monstrosity. And then, like, the checklist they have is new Moshi monster game on mobile, rediscover the world with one of the original 6 monsters, help rebuild monstrosity, explore all the locations from the original game. Kind of hard if some of them are completely ruined and destroyed, but hey. Earn your daily rocks at the Puzzle Palace, complete quests, rescue, recover, and grow lots of moshlings, collect the first set of Moshi monsters, nurture your moshlings, decorate your home and build more rooms, gather resources and create your moshling sanctuary of your dream, play at the Moshi Fun Park with minigames from the original Moshi Monster. And then we have a bit more, and like, the early concept art for the game, if you go on the Kickstarter, looks like it would be a click and point. It looks like, so when you have the hero quest, it looks like the mobile games would just be the hero quest, really, and it doesn't look like it's going to have the same kind of open world kind of design of it. Like, there's some of the original locations, so like, they have some of their perceived video games, which is like dress up room mini game, and like, and like decorate your room mini game, and then they have some early game concept animation of the walkthrough. The game looks lonely, is all I can really say. The game looks lonely compared to how it originally was. It looks like a lonely world. Like, I don't know how else to say it. A large draw of the original game for me personally, I can't say for others, was the fact that I could meet people around the world and connect over a shared love of this video game. It was like, it was safe. You would literally become friends, and they could leave notes on your post-it board. They would be on your friend tray. It would be a really big brag as well if you could get a giant friend tray as well. And like, you get to like have a little yearbook kind of thing of all your things you liked, your favourite moshling, your favourite colour, like, and literally other people around the world, and they could rate your room, say what they like about your rooms, and all sorts. Like, it was one of the first ones of making online friends of what I remember personally. And now we're getting into the bits where I start to raise flags, because we have the stretch goals. So, baseline campaign of 250k is Kickstarter main goal, bring back your favourite game. You're not bringing it back though if it's a mobile game. That looks like it won't be like the original game. Okay? And like, and then from there on out, you're paying extra money on top of that to regain the full original features. A lot of it. So like, a lot of it seems like you're paying to regain the original features. Like they said, the baseline one, it's like you get the first 30 sets, but if you just pay an extra, but if they raise an extra 50k, it's the 55 sets of the moshling. And then it's like, from here on out, it'll be 50k and another 50k added on each level, and I'll say when it changes from there. It's like, expanded puzzle palace, 31 puzzles in the puzzle palace. And then the one I'm concerned about is dress up rooms and marketplace. The dress up room is where players can dress their those with clothing and accessories that are bought from the shops in the marketplace. So does that mean if 40k isn't raised that you can't do that and it doesn't have that option? Is that what it means if they don't reach that goal? Because like that was also a key part. It's like how you personalize and express your character. And then it's like Music Island expansion, Moshi Social, socialized features as such as the friend tree, gifting, room rating, and friend presence. Brackets no pinboard, and that's at 500k. Okay, I'm like, okay, so you need to raise double the Kickstarter campaign to get the original game, to get social features within the game, which was, I will say, was fairly a large part for me personally. It was one of my favourite things, the social aspect of Moshi Monsters growing up. So this is concerning, slightly. And then it's like, from here on out, everything is up by at least 100k. Super Moshi missions, recreation of the Super Moshi missions, ongoing live events, 700k, community-driven in-game events and special occasions. Does that mean if that much isn't raised that we're not going to get that and there's not going to be any of that presence? Like, this is things I'm starting to get concerned about because there is very limited information about what the new game is supposing to be. Very limited information on game direction, what the actual style the game is actually going to be. There's more information about what the game originally was to people than what their new game they're trying to create is. And like, a lot of the features is like, yeah, but that's like an add-on. And I'm just like, this doesn't seem like fully right. And this leads into the reasons why I feel like this is more of a nostalgia film than anything else, because it's like everyone who loved that game is now my age, which is 20s. Like, I'm 20 in a month. Like, most people my age are either in uni, out of uni, working full-time jobs, and now probably have the capital and probably want civic nostalgia. And they've seen this and they're seeing it as a marketable thing. And like, I'm kind of iffy on it. Moshi Fun Park. Mini games located around the Moshi world, as well as arcade machines in shops. Like, so does that mean unless we don't raise 80k, 800k, I can't have the picnic mini game that's outside the shopping street? Because like, I love that game. That game was so fun. And then you have party mode, which is join friends online in party mode plus party mini games. And like, I feel like this is one of the only like new ish features. So, the underground monster city, which is basically the underground disco and caves and the candy cavern caves, which are labeled as a new location. Not a new location if it was in the original game. But like, sure, okay. 1.2 million, new game plus. Adopt a new Moshi Monster new home, so a fresh but maintained story arc progression. Brackets prologue. Moshilings unlocked during this prologue were kept. This sounds like the original prologue that you got in the game when you went to do the Super Moshi quest, the level 1 one. That's what that kind of sounds like. Does that, like, you know what I mean? 1.5, mystery brand new location. A new Moshi world located with new Moshiling set. All the information you get. Okay. And at 2 million, you finally get the PC version of the new game they're planning to release. Or for 2.5 million, the console version as well. And all of this is starting to raise red flags for me personally, because I'm like, okay, a lot of the add-on features were original features. Like, if 2 plus 2 is 4, this is not adding up, okay? And it's giving the vibes of, we're keeping elements of it. It's giving the vibes of 27 dresses, where like the 2 sisters want a wedding dress and one sister's getting married first. And she's like, where's Mum's dress? And she's like, oh, here's the scraps. It kind of feels like that. But anyway, now we're getting to the things where I'm now more concerned, okay? So we're going to be getting into like the pleasures and stuff. Because like the rest of the Kickstarter is just the original 6 and like just other stuff like the basic risks of the campaign. But like, now we're getting into the Kickstarter campaign rewards, because it's like incredible rewards. Yeah, sure. So their featured one for the low price of 60. It's a big bag of rocks. you don't know what rocks are, they're basically the in-game currency. Okay? With this, you get £50 worth of in-game rocks, an in-game badge, access to their Discord, your name in the credits, early access tester, and a digital code for a big bag of rocks. The fact that you're paying, one of the things you get is early access tester. It gives the vibes of you're paying to be a tester. You're paying to make sure the game runs correctly. Also, the estimated delivery date of the game is in May 2027. To keep that in mind. Okay, and now all of these go ascending. I will list their prices and what rewards you get. So the Monstro City Builder for £5, you get a badge for in-game. Secret Moshling Society is badge plus Discord server for 15. 20 is badge, Discord server plus a digital code of a little bag of rocks. 30, you get your name in the game, which is a Discord server, name and game credits, the badge, and a little bag of rocks. Then early access tester, which is all the stuff before, but also early access for 50. Right, so at 80 we start getting in-game content. So at 80 you get exclusive in-game furniture room set for decorating and everything stated before. But instead of a little bag of rocks, it's a big bag of rocks. So rewarding. 90 is clothing set plus room set. So getting there. For 100 you also get gold monster colouring. At 150, an even bigger bag of rocks. So everything before plus a bag of rocks. Now, this one, if I was to get any, is the one I'm most enticed to get, personally. I don't think I would actually put anything towards it though. Is I Saw the World Tour, which you basically get everything before plus a 100% discount code for the Zach Binsman World Tour hoodie. Yes, you heard me that right. Shipping not included. But you can get a Zach Binsman World Tour hoodie. And everything. That's my land. And this is where I start to get slightly more iffy. That's my land. Everything before minus the hoodie. Plus you get to name a location within the new game. Name a Moshi store. Same as before, but instead of a location, you get to name a store. This is priced at 500. At £1,000, it's Be in the Game, where you can have your own NPC. And so everything else from here on out will have early access, the golden monster, the clothing, the room, your name in the credits, even bigger bag of rocks, the badge, all that stuff. And this is where my main product comes into play, because you have design a Moshi store, and this is where I'm like, right, so you want people to help design your actual game. You want people to pay £5,000 to help design your game. Yeah, okay, right. And it's design a Moshi store, okay? Or alternatively, to design a Moshling for £5,000. Cool. Yeah, lovely. At 7,500, you can party like a rock star. Full of stuff before, but rock star bag of rocks, and the in-game star badge of rock star badge. And then the final one is Buster My Bumble Chops. And if you're not aware, he is one of the original characters from the original video game, and you can now play as him, and only one person can have this, and that has already been taken for the low price of £8,000. So, after reviewing all this information, going over what the Kickstarter is, here are my honest thoughts. 1. Personally, I don't think I would put my money towards this. 1, there's no clear outline of what the game's going to actually be like, what formatting, no actual in-depth concept or design or storyline. You can't say you have a storyline if it's just a chapter, if it's just that much of writing, okay? I personally don't think it's worth the money. Honestly, I think it's a nostalgia farm. They've realised that their main demographic from 10 years ago now all have adult jobs, adult money, and the capital to fund a project like this. Bearing in mind, this is from the original company. This is from Mind Candy. Mind Candy, who originally backed Moshi Monsters. Mind Candy that has won BAFTA awards from Moshi Monsters. So it's not like unreasonable to expect that actual like gaming backers and people who actually put money into funding a game wouldn't actually fund it, because this is an award-winning game they're trying to bring back. On top of this, the fact that there's a lot of money in it, where you can choose to design the game, and it's designed and it's built with the community kind of vibes, makes me feel like they don't actually have a fully fleshed out idea. They're relying on fans to fund it and help drive it creatively. They're relying on the community that exists to do the work to make sure that they deliver enough to make the fans happy, and that's what it feels like. The fact that a lot of the key concepts and the key things that made the game so great is at a higher pay reward instead of being in the base level, and them adding in more new exciting content as the levels go up is also raises questions for me. The fact that it's like a PC version of the game, not the game back on PC, states that the game is going to be wildly different to play than the original in my mind. The concept design stuff, from what I've seen, looks like it's going to be very click and point. It looks to be a very lonely game the way they've designed it, especially if they don't raise enough money. It will be a lonely game because it doesn't seem like it has any social aspects built in or designed at the base level of it. And personally, I honestly don't think it's worth the money. Personally, I think I'm going to stick to Moshi Monsters Rewritten, because ultimately that is Moshi Monsters at this point, and whatever they're offering isn't. And I don't think it will ultimately, honestly, I can be wrong, but ultimately I don't think it's going to be that overly successful. A lot of money won't spend money on the big ticket items or put that much money into it, because we're not seeing a lot of stuff from it, we're not seeing a lot of details of stuff. I don't think a lot of people will still be interested in it in 2 years later if it's wildly different from what the original game was, because that's how it's looking at the minute. And the fact that like we're bringing back the original game, but not really. It just seems like they're taking elements from the original, and they state that in the risks. They're saying that they're taking elements from the original game to create a new modern game, basically, and it feels like they're just taking bits and pieces. But these are just my thoughts and opinions. Let me know what you think of this, of the Kickstarter campaign, what you think of the future of Moshi Monsters, and whether or not you would or have put money towards this. Anyway, thank you for listening, and hope you enjoyed the video.